Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I am Sabir Hasnan, your science subject teacher from grade 8. In this video lecture, we will discuss the further details about salt. If you remember, in last lecture, we discussed about the basic definition of salt. Then later on, different types of salts and how we can name them, and at last we discuss the physical properties of the salts as well. Now in this video lecture we will discuss about how we can make them salts by different ways. So how would you make a salt? We can make a salt by different methods. 4 methods are given in your book. Number 1, by using acid and alkalis. Number 2, acid and metals. Number 3, acids and metal carbonates. And number 4, metal, acid and metal oxides. Now let's discuss the first one, acid and alkalis. In this, we add both acid and alkalis. We can make a salt by neutralizing an acid with an alkali. The example is given here. So in this example, a chemical reaction where an acid and a base that are combined and destroying their properties of both. It means when we are using the word destroying the properties of both, it means acid properties of acid will be destroyed, properties of base will be destroyed. They will not remain base and acid as well. So their chemical nature will be totally different after the chemical reaction. This reaction is also known as neutralization reaction. In this reaction, first we add both acid as enough amount of acid to neutralize an alkali. By mixing them, then we put them into the evaporating basin, and after putting them into the evaporated basin, like as shown in figure, after putting them into a evaporated basin or jar, and by providing we will provide heat to them. By providing heat, what will happen? The water through it will be evaporated. How the water, and when water will be evaporated, at last we will have a salt in a solid state. So this chemical reaction in the figure, HCl, which is hydrochloric acid, NaOH, sodium hydroxide, which is base, and when they react, they will produce salt and water. So by providing heat, this water will be evaporated and after heating. So this is actually, if you remember, the types of displacement reactions. So it's a double displacement reaction. Look, H is Na is along with Cl. So this is the first displacement. This is NaCl, and the second displacement, this OH is OH in the equation will combine with H, so it make H2O. There will be 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, and they make water. So it means this is double displacement reaction. It's the first type of the reaction through which we can make salt, so which is sodium chloride here in the figure, and salt by mixing acids and alkali. Now let's discuss the second method. The second method is acids and bases. And when we react acids and metals, in this case we already know from the last chapter uh, in which we discuss about the reaction of metals with water, with acid, and with air and oxygen. So it is related to that part as well. So I personally suggest you must watch those videos again and must read the previous topics from the reactivity series of the metal from chapter from third chapter. So over there we learn one thing: whenever acid reacts with metal or the metal reacts with acid, that cools the metal, and there would be a chemical reaction. So when this chemical reaction will actually produce the metal salt, and there would be some release of hydrogen gas as well. So whenever metal is added to an acid, a chemical reaction occurs and form metal salt and hydrogen gas. Look at the example now in the figure. In this example, we have an acid solution in the beaker. By putting a small three bars of metals, when we put them, after putting, what will happen? A chemical reaction will occur. So whenever the chemical reaction occur, in this case, as I told you, it makes metal salt and hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas will be released during the chemical reaction. You people know very well, when acid reacts very fast with metals, hydrogen gas releases during this chemical reaction. This hydrogen gas is colorless and has no smell. So we can test this hydrogen gas by bringing a matchstick near the jar, and when we bring a matchstick near the jar, there would be a pop sound will be produced. Pop sound will be produced. Through this, we can check the presence of hydrogen gas in this case as well. So the chemical equation for the second type, acid and metals. So whenever on the left side we have reactants, acid and metals, on the right side we have salt and hydrogen. Salt is, keep in mind, this salt is metal salt and hydrogen gas. The chemical reaction for hydrochloric acid, HCl, and magnesium, which is metal, whenever they react, they will give us magnesium chloride, which is metal salt, and hydrogen gas will be released. Now look, this is single chemical reaction, single displacement reaction, I mean. So here just chlorine is attached with the magnesium, so chlorine is removed and hydrogen will be separated in this reaction. There is another example. This example is related to zinc and sulfuric acid. So when zinc and sulfuric acid combine together, they will make zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. This is a single displacement reaction. The sulfate SO4 is replaced, H2 is replaced by the zinc, so only one thing is replaced, and we will get zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Keep in mind, zinc sulfate is metal salt. And how we can do this reaction? Again, put the zinc metal into the sulfuric acid, put a small amount of metal into the sulfuric acid, then hydrogen gas will be released. Whenever the bubbles of hydrogen gas stops, it means the reaction is over and the acid has been neutralized. So when acid has been neutralized, the excess of zinc will be at the bottom. Any zinc that has not reacted is removed by filtration. So by filtration, the zinc at the bottom of the beaker will be removed. Then by providing heat after filtration, the filtrate is carefully heated the evaporated water, and the white compound that is left behind is the compound of zinc sulfate. So after hitting